On this episode of Make America Remote Again, I get interviewed by my good friend Andrés, talking about my journey coming to Colombia, starting Remote Latinos, hiring over 1,000 people, and what the future of the remote work space looks like. Normally, I'm the one interviewing, but on this episode, I get interviewed, so you get to find out more about me and my journey, but more importantly, talking about the future of remote work for what I've seen and what I've been a part of for the last several years. On the next episodes, I'm going to be interviewing some of the top entrepreneurs in Medellin, Colombia. So tune in, like, comment, subscribe, share this episode, and I'll see you on Make America Remote Again.
Guys, welcome to another podcast in this beautiful city, Medellin, Colombia. Today, we're with a very special guest, Omer Bloch, with Remote Latinos. And it's only proper that we do this in Latin America. Welcome to the podcast, Full Circle Conversations. Omer helps business owners and entrepreneurs recruit and hire world-class talent. Thank you for being on the podcast, brother.
Appreciate you having me, man. I'm excited.
Absolutely, Omer. So let's start. Where are you originally from, right? First of all, how are we here in this country, right? Because you are foreigner here.
Yep.
You're from the United States, but where'd you grow up? Do you have brothers and sisters, right? What was your family like growing up and things like that?
Yeah, so I was born in Jerusalem, Israel, so crazy times right now. My family's from Russia, but I grew up in the States, so I actually feel like I'm more American than anything. English is now my first language. I speak Russian and Hebrew as well. And then in 2020, while I was working for a marketing agency, we came to celebrate our success. We hit like $2.5 or $3 million in a year. It was like awesome. We're like, we should all travel. We're all working remote. We should all meet up in one place.
Okay.
And one of the co-founders was like, hey man, I think we should go to Medellin, Colombia. And I always tell this to people because I had literally zero intention of coming to Colombia, zero intention of coming to South America. I didn't care for it. I wanted to go to Europe. I wanted to go to Asia, maybe even Africa before South America. Because I was one of the people that thought Colombia is like, narcos and cartel and it's dangerous and all this shit. And then we came here March 2020. So what happened in March 2020? The world got shut down. But thankfully, I got 1 weekend before that happened. And I got to explore. We went out hiking and paragliding and went out to meet awesome people. And I was like, this is pretty cool. And I ended up getting stuck here for 2 months. And at the time, I also had rent in San Diego. That was where I lived for about a year. And I just kept coming back, man. I kept coming back. I didn't know anyone. And now, 3.5 years later, I started an entrepreneur community. We have almost 1,000 people, all travelers, people that run businesses, investors, wholesalers, you name it. And man, it's been a blessing. I really love the city. It's completely changed my mindset on traveling, on the Latin culture. My future kids are probably going to be Latinos,
Nice, man.
So I'm absolutely obsessed with the culture and just learning and adapting more every day.
That's awesome, man. For people that want to come here, what do you tell them, right? Because now you're practicing Spanish, you're trying to get integrated in the culture. So just to continue on there, what would you tell people here that want to come to Colombia? Because I feel like it's blowing up a little bit, right? People want to come but tell the people.
I mean, absolutely. First things first, you want to connect with people like Andrés and myself because we've been here for a long time, like you want to be able to come here and already have connections because we had to learn our ropes. I don't know about you, but I had to learn my ropes from start, not knowing anyone. Obviously learning where you want to stay, what to do, what not to do. Join groups, right? So whether it's our WhatsApp group, there's also Facebook groups, and you want to make sure that you're surrounded by the right people. This is if you go anywhere, whether it's in you go to San Diego, you go to Medellin, you go to South Korea, it doesn't matter. You want to make sure that you're around the right people, you know the rules, you understand, hey, this is where I want to be, this is where I don't want to be. And I actually ask yourself, why do you want to come here?
Right.
What is it? Do you want to come to travel, check out this beautiful place? There's so many things to do here. Or do you want to potentially build a life here? Do you want to, get into the dating scene? There's so many different aspects. So ask yourself, why do I want to travel here? And then make it happen. I think so many people, are afraid of pulling the trigger. I truly believe why people are stuck where they're at, they're depressed, is because they're just not pulling the trigger. And if they do pull the trigger, they pull it the wrong way. Right? So you can pull the trigger this way, you can also pull it this way,
100%.
Right? So I think people need to, it's always about who you surround with, the knowledge that you have, and just making sure that you execute on everything that you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't want to go into this blind because that's essentially what you're doing. And we've been through the trials, the errors. We know where to go, who to talk to, how to approach people. There's a code of conduct, so to say, right? Any place that you go, really, if it's California, if it's Miami, And especially if you're traveling in South America, you do want to be connected. Just like you said, reach out to us. You know, we're open. We love to connect with people.
Yes.
Because connecting with people, that ultimately leads to opportunity. That's why I like to bring on guests like yourself, where we can all grow and we can all learn. So we're in Colombia now. So you were living in San Diego, California, right? Yeah. Is that where you grew up? Or
I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Then I moved to Colorado in 2018. I got my first remote sales job working for a marketing agency, Atlas Digital. Worked there for about 3 years. Went from we were doing 30, 40K a month when I got there to 250K a month, 300K a month,
nice.
Which was pretty cool. It was my first time making six figures. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. Didn't come from money. Like, even though I'm Jewish, my family's Jewish, we did not come from money whatsoever. And then one of my dreams was to live in San Diego. I just wanted to, for me, San Diego is it's the pinnacle of the U.S. because it's close. Again, I've always had a thing for Latino culture, so I feel like San Diego has that. It's also luxurious. It's one of the most expensive cities in the world.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted
beautiful too.
It's the most. I mean, man, to me, it's Miami and San Diego. It's right there, And I feel like if San Diego was their own territory and it wasn't California with the taxes and all the shit that California goes through, it'd be the best place to live in the U.S. And so I loved it. And then for me, around 2019, 2020, I got this urge that something in the U.S., it just felt weird. We were going through a weird time. I don't want to get into politics. And then obviously the whole political change happened. Right. And I just felt like, man, there's other places out there to explore. And to me, we have the blessing of making money through a freaking screen.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're going to get into a lot of
which
that.
we will. And to me, it's why not take advantage of that and make money anywhere in the world? Because that's the first thing that my company does is we help people with location freedom, right? If you can unlock location freedom, you can then unlock financial freedom. But most people are stuck working in an office job and they make no money. So I'm like, if you're not gonna make money, at least do it somewhere cool. Go to the beach, go to the mountains, so on and so forth.
That's amazing, man. So what kind of person were you growing up, right? Were you always entrepreneurial? Were you, it sounds like you went the corporate route beginning, but did you have this urge in you, right? Yeah. How did that start?
Man, everything changed for me. August of 2013, I joined network marketing. As an 18-year-old. I was selling energy drinks. The company was called Vima. And that changed my whole life, man. To answer your question, non-entrepreneurial. Nobody in my family does business. Nobody in my family owns business. I've always liked and been fascinated with businesses, but I think it's hard when you don't come from it. So when I was 18, I joined multi-level marketing with a couple of my best friends. And we started, we didn't make money, but we started really expanding our network. And we built it wrong. I'm not going to get the whole story, but we built the company wrong because nobody was teaching us how to do it. And I was doing it for 2 years. And thankfully, I stuck long enough where I met one person that changed my life, right? Because the way network marketing works, the key word is not marketing, it's networking.
Yeah,
right? And in 2 years, I would say, in 2 years, I made $600, spent 6,000. We don't talk about that. We do not talk about that. But around about a year later, I met this redhead at one of these events. He's walking around with a GoPro. I'm like, this guy, why is he doing a GoPro? Everybody is networking. Came, shook his hand. His name is Marcos, and today he's still one of my best friends. And we became friends. I moved into his house, and man, that was in life, I believe in butterfly effects.
Right.
You make one decision, it can impact your whole life, right? I could have easily never, I could have easily not come to Colombia in the first place. I could have easily never moved here in the first place. And that was one of the butterfly effects, just meeting him, becoming friends with him, because he came from an entrepreneurial family. He came from wanting more and wanting to be rich and wanting to travel the world. So for me, that opened my eyes to what was possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, that butterfly effect is like that one line that person tells you. Yep. It's like that one thing that tells, hey, go this way, go this route. It's almost like you have light.
Yes.
Where you're dark, you got the blinders on, now it's like you're exposed to what the world is. And network marketing, I did my fair share too, right? Yeah. The Cutco and the Herbalife.
Nice.
And then
Amway?
Huh?
Any Amway?
No, Amway, no, I didn't get to Amway.
Yeah.
No, but you start to learn about the Dale Carnegies, the Napoleon Hills,
right there.
sales, the networking, the mindset. Yeah.
I don't know about you. I did not read in high school. I hated it. I hated school. I knew no matter what, as a kid, I was not going to go through school. And I knew I didn't want to go through college. I thought it was the biggest scam. And around then, I started getting into conspiracies, and you learn about how school was created. You're like, holy shit, this is I'm literally, they're creating me. They want me to become a robot. They're creating robots. They're not creating free thinkers. They're not creating creative people. They're limiting the potential that I have. And they also make me feel so bad about myself because I'm not getting the A's. I'm not getting accepted to schools. I'm not getting, the good grades and the tests and all that stuff. So I'm like, am I retarded? What is going on here? So I always thought that was it was just not the route. And network marketing, what you said, Dale Carnegie, for me was Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, like all the big people. And I'm like, whoa, they make it sound possible. Everything that we do in life starts here.
Absolutely.
It starts here. So if you do not sharpen your mind, dude, it's like, that was in 2013. I am literally obsessed with personal development. Right? I'm reading Alex Hormozi's book. I watch Tai Lopez. Like, I love learning every day. And it became, at first it was kind of hard because you gotta have to put yourself in it. But then it became like an actual habit of every single day I'm listening to 1 or 2 hours of podcast, reading, whatever the case is, no matter the level I'm at, no matter who it's from, right? Because I want to learn from people that have what I want, you know? So
absolutely. No, and it's beautiful because even 2013, the internet wasn't as big. Like all these podcasts, you didn't have the, you know, the Tai Lopez, the Grant Cardones, the Alex Hormozis, right? And it's evolved so much that nowadays, like if you invest the time, like you can pick up skills
easily.
And every single day, if you work on that, man, it does become like an obsession, and it becomes addictive because the more results you see, the more you want to do it. So, so that was your first entrepreneurial venture, right? The energy drinks, the network marketing. So who were some of your mentors, right? You talked about the redhead, right? Your friend. What did he do for you? And, you know, who were some of your other mentors there as you moved up?
Yeah, so he was my first mentor that's also like was a friend. Right, because everybody else in my circle that I grew up with, which I'm still close with today because I care about loyalty and people that have my back, you know, they mentored me in different ways, but they were never like mentors for money or success because they didn't have that.
Right.
And not that he had that specifically, but what he wanted, the way he spoke, the way he educated himself, it was like, yeah, this is the guy that I need in my life forever, and I need to do whatever I can for him so we can just be there for each other the whole time. And you know, we've almost been friends now for 10 years. Eric Worre was one of my big mentors, man. I actually almost forgot about him, and he interviewed someone recently. I don't know if it was Tony Robbins, and I was like, dude, I forgot about Eric Worre. That was the first book I remember finishing that has nothing to do with school ever. Right, and it was it was GoPro, which is like how, you know, the whole network marketing thing, that was a huge one. Obviously you have the Jim Rohns, and then the ones that I like cherish today, obviously you have Hormozi, who I knew Hormozi before he blew up. Like I would say I knew him when he was broke. He was only doing like $30 or $40 million a year. Which is hilarious. Yeah. No, he was doing well, but he launched his SaaS back in 2020, and we would get on calls with him, like it was one-on-one calls, and so I knew him before. Obviously, he blew up with the marketing agency that I was in. Tai Lopez, man, I think he might be the best person for me because in 2016, when I was living with Marcos, we bought his course, his SMMA course, which is actually crazy. I didn't even know this until recently. He goes on podcasts. He owns the name SMMA, so like the 4-letter word that he owns that, which is insane.
Domain.
And the amount of people that he has put, I really believe he's birthed 50% of internet marketers. People that make money online through marketing, he's birthed like 50% of us, because I know that almost for a fact. And we watched his course 2016, and then 2018 when I joined the company, you know, I actually met him in Vegas in 2019, came up to him, we bought him a wine bottle, and he called us over, we talked to him, he told him like, you know, we took your course, you know, we blew up and all that stuff. The testimonial, he talked to us for 10 minutes. 6 months later, I see him at another event, and he points at me and he sees me. He's like, yo, you're the guy from Vegas. And I was like, dude, for you to remember me, like I remember that. I'm like, you're not too big. You're answering people's questions. You're again, I only get a very small glimpse of your life, but I like that. And for me, the biggest mentors are not the people that have the material things and the land and travel and girls, are also people that are down to earth, that treat everybody with respect. I don't give a flying fuck how much money you make. If you treat waitresses and other people with like, I've been around that. I've seen people disrespect people, especially here, you know, like in Colombia, like, bro, you come to Colombia, you make $3,000 a month, you're in the top 5%.
Yeah.
So to disrespect anyone at any point to me is, I absolutely can't stand that. So Tai Lopez is a big one. Obviously, Grant Cardone went to 10X multiple times. And now, you know, we're a lot more in the real estate business, which we'll talk about, my business partner and I, Esteban. So some of my mentors now are more like Ken Clothier and more people in the REI space. I was just listening to a podcast, I can't remember the guy's name, but he crushes it. Brent Daniels, obviously, Ryan Pineda. So they're like the people that we are more into now.
That's amazing, yeah, man, because a lot of those mentors, like you met Tai Lopez, and you've met some of them, right, at the masterminds, but it sounds like most of them you met through books, through content, consuming their material, right? And that's the beautiful thing nowadays, you know, because you can have a world-class mentor for less than $1,000.
100%. And I know you always post messy stuff when you just won the Ballon d'Or the 8th time. So I actually love sports. So for me, some of my mentors are athletes, NFL players, Eric Berry, Peyton Manning, like people that like actually succeeded at the highest level.
Tom Brady.
And Tom Brady's, I mean, he's the freaking GOAT. I'm a Colts fan, so I ruined half of my childhood, but like now as an adult, I get to see that. I'm like, you know what, there will never be another person like that. Just like Messi, we will never witness that. I made a post, I was like, we're blessed to be living around the time of these guys. Just like people were blessed to live around Michael Jordan era. We were not, we're younger.
Right.
And another one is Russ. Like I love the rapper Russ, the artist. I mean, the music that he makes. So many people rap about drugs and girls and and he raps about real shit, retiring his mom, traveling, taking her around the world, doing whatever he wants, like taking care of his friends. I'm like, that's the shit I like. So I think going off what you said, you can literally find mentors anywhere you want. It's rather, do you want it or do you not want it? Because YouTube is infinite. Like literally infinite. You have amazing music. You have amazing, you have sports. I mean, you can find mentorship, but you can also find the wrong mentors, right? People that don't add value to your life and make your life harder and contaminate your life with poison because that's the easy thing to do. And that's a whole different topic. But
it's so easy to get caught up in the wrong things, man. I mean, it's, I don't want to get into religion and things like that, but like, it's just like we're so void of God nowadays, right? It's just so easy. People have no regards for what's actually in the Bible and what's actually, you don't have to be the most religious, right? But man, it's just like where is that nowadays? So people just want the easy route. They don't care about lying. It's incredible. So to have the right people, the right mentors, people who have values, you have that in your life. I mean, that's like 80% of it, I would say. So talk to me then about Remote Latinos, right? How'd you start this? Because you're doing a lot of people what they need in their core business, right? That's like the hardest thing, right? Having talent, because anywhere you go, any business you have, any sort of, anywhere you need people, right? So how did that go about starting that, right? Remote Latinos, talk to me about that.
Yeah, so around 2020, I was working for a coaching program where we help people scale their agency. So it was an agency scaling program. We obviously scaled our agency and we wanted to teach people exactly what we did. And we taught them sales and marketing and retention and everything you can think about. And around then, I was starting to build my personal brand, doing a podcast on the side.
Right.
And I noticed that people were struggling with hiring, just like we said, specifically marketing agencies, but obviously all businesses struggle with it. And I was like, maybe there's a way for me to find remote team members. And at the time, I was working with a couple individuals from Ecuador, and they knew people. They had like friends that were looking for jobs. I was like, great, let's try to help them out. Let's see if we can make it happen for them. And that's exactly what we did. We actually, the first few clients that I got were agency clients. And immediately, as soon as they sign up to the coaching program, I would help them find a VA at the time.
Right.
And from there, it started just word of mouth, started spreading. And in my first year in 2021, so 2020, late 2020s, we started 2021, we placed about 100 people and it felt pretty good. And I was like, okay, there's something here. And around August, I was like, all right, I'm going to go all in on this. We're talking about 10K a month, it's not a lot of money, but there's something here. And man, ever since then, we've placed about 650, almost 700 people all over the world, 40 different countries. Actually, majority of our people have come from Colombia, which is pretty awesome. And in last May, so May 2022, Esteban was a part of the coaching program that I was in.
Okay.
And we connected back and forth, and he actually gave me a lot of value. That's something I've always appreciated about Esteban. He loves sharing what he knows. He doesn't hold back. And he actually signed up to work with us because he wanted a VA. And before he did that, he actually gave me like 3 different platforms I never heard about to find VAs. And I was like, dude, this is a huge game changer. And later on, he signed up with us. We helped him find, I believe, like some system person, or I don't remember the exact role.
Right.
And then he came up to me. He's like, listen, man, I'm working with a lot of investors, wholesalers, people in the real estate investing world. They need VAs. They need lead managers. They need acquisition managers. They need cold callers. They need people. I'll send you, let's figure out a way to partner up here. I'll send you clients and we'll make it happen. Now, at that point, I've already had about 100 clients, a lot of them agency owners. And the amount of times that I heard this, I can send you gym member, I can send you gym owners, I can send you dentists, and everybody's all talk.
Everybody's all had
100%. But Esteban's the complete opposite.
Right.
Literally, not only did he tell me about it, but he made it happen. He actually sent us, from 1 client to 3 clients to 5 clients to now. We've worked with about 150 real estate investors from all over the U.S., some of them even in Canada. And we've helped them place lead managers, cold callers. And the name Remote Latinos comes from, obviously I live here. He's Latino himself. He's from Bogota, Colombia. And I think it's the best name in the world. We own RemoteLatinos.com. We own LatinosRemotos.com as well, which is pretty cool. And man, it's I think he what Esteban valued about what we were doing is, number one, we've already had some success.
Right.
And then our mission was to help 10,000 people find remote careers and help them get paid more than they've ever been paid.
Right.
It's not just to help businesses and just like focus on the business side of things, but it's 100% to focus on finding people jobs. And I always tell people, the bloodline of my business is sales, right? Partnering up with people like you.
Right.
But what the breathing part of the business, the oxygen, is the people that I'm looking to help,
Yeah,
right? Which is why our core focus is actually looking for talent rather than looking for business. Thankfully, I got good at sales. I know how to talk to people, and I also just I'm not a salesy person, man. Whenever someone meets me, I always like, yo, you need VAs, like I got you.
Right.
I don't even like to, I like to talk about it, of course, but I'm like low key about it almost, because I want to build a relationship with you. I want to get to know you, because that same thing that I'm doing with you is I'm hoping that you're going to do the same for the people that we help. So for us, man, 10,000 people, we're about 10%. We're going to be 10% in about a year, finding them remote careers. And then, kind of picking back up that we own Remote Africans, Remote Asians, RemoteAmericans.com. So we want to be able to build a community of people that we've helped find remote careers. I don't care about jobs, right? What's the difference between a job and a career? A job is something you can hop in, hop out. A career is something that you're building towards your future and for your generation, right? And you're a part of, right? Maybe eventually you're a part owner. Maybe you get equity. I mean, dude, we have like people that we've helped like literally make 15 to 20K a month. Now, a lot of them are not like Latinos necessarily, but even the Latinos, they're making, at worst, starting is $800 a month, which is almost 3 times more than what the average Colombian makes. And the average bilingual person makes $500 a month. So we're starting them off at the right note. We want to be able to have them take care of themselves. And then the thing that now we're building is a SaaS platform. So we're actually building a job ad platform, almost like what Online Jobs.ph is, Upwork. So Remote Latinos is literally going to be a SaaS platform where people from all over the world can find Latin talent, whether it's in Colombia, Venezuela, Mexico, wherever it is, and have the ultimate thing is have businesses find the best people the fastest way possible, and have people find jobs and careers that turn into careers the fastest way possible.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It all comes down to the people, right? As long as you can take care of the people, especially these people worldwide, right? I'm sure they appreciate that, which we're going to get into that as well. Like, how appreciative they are. What was some of those early struggles early on, right? Because there's a challenge, right? There's failures along the way, which, necessarily, people look at failures differently, right? Yeah. I feel like entrepreneurs and people who make it, they look at failures completely different. But what were some of those early struggles when you first got started?
Yeah, and like to piggyback on what you said, failures are just mistakes. That's how I see it, and you learn from it. And then people like that accept failures, they're failures. But entrepreneurs, we just like kind of pivot from it. We're like, all right, how can we fix this? So really those 2 struggles, which was the business side of things in terms of finding the right clients. Because at first we were working with anybody. So if you just joined the coaching program and you know nothing about business, you don't know how to hire, we would still help you, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like you're not supposed to help with recruiting when you're not even ready with a business. You have no systems, you have no operations, you have nothing. So we were at first partnering up with everybody and their mom, which is not the right thing. And then the other part is that we were helping everybody and their mom in terms of the candidates. So we were just trying to, because I didn't learn about this business because I got into this completely on accident,
right? Which
I love that, because I always told myself, I feel like I'm an accident. Talk to my parents, I'm like, yeah, I feel like that was not planned. Right. But I feel like some of the greatest things in the world happen on accident. I love Shark Tank. Right, you watch it and then like, I was watching. There's one of the best products is the soap one. I was watching my the plates, and it kept on slipping. So then this girl made the smiley face. I don't know if you've seen the smiley face soap,
the scrub,
something like that. And then it's because it's easier to clean.
Yeah.
It's a freaking almost $1 billion company. Complete accident.
Yeah.
So I believe some of the best.
I use that product actually.
But if you watch Shark Tank, if you watch business shows, I feel like some of the best products were created by accident or because of inconvenience.
Right.
And that's what happened. It was inconvenience. It was an accident. So I was trying to help all businesses, and then we were not really qualifying people. Dude, we used to we would find a VA, and we were like, hey, Andres, here you go. Hey, I need an employment center here. We would just place them. We wouldn't vet them. We wouldn't have the interviews with them. We wouldn't hardcore, set clear expectations and take them through a process. Same thing with the clients. So that took us time to learn. And man, it was so cool because a lot of stuff that we're doing now, I vividly remember how we started it. It was getting feedback from clients, getting feedback from candidates, and pivoting towards making the business as strong as possible to where it is today. And even today, man, there's a lot of things that we can do better. There's a lot of things that your business you can do better.
Right? Absolutely.
There's holes in every business. I mean, you look at Meta, you look at Amazon, you look at Tesla, 3 multi-billion-dollar companies. Bro, there's so many holes in those companies. So who are we to think as quote unquote small business owners that we don't have holes? So again, we were accepting everybody as a business, as a client. Like if you have any money, okay, come work with us. And we were helping anybody get a job. And I think that at the end of the day, you have to be very strict and very, very picky of who you want to work with in the service industry, which is what something, I've been a part now for 5.5 years. Because what goes around comes around, man. If you're all about the money, that's going to come and bite you, right? People are going to start charging bad. They're going to talk bad about you. And you can only build your reputation once. You can do everything right for 10 years. That's the biggest, that shit scared me. I remember hearing about this because I've seen this happen in our industry.
Is that a Warren Buffett quote or something?
You can do everything right for 10, 20, 30 years and make one mistake for 10 seconds, right? You do everything right and then you drunk drive and kill a kid. Yeah. Who gives that 20, 30 years? Is gone.
It's all gone.
So that gone. Every single day you wake up, you have to think about that. And what we do now is building our authority, building our brands. We do everything right, man. And our brand starts getting exposed in the industries we're in. Bro, it is going to be impossible to rebuild our industry. Once people lose trust for you, it's over. So the hardest thing to do is to build a trust, and it's through listening to your clients, listening to the candidates, getting feedback, being open, and understanding that at the end of the day, like the mission is to help 10,000 businesses, 10,000 people find jobs, find careers, find applicants, and yeah, those were some of the struggles in the beginning.
Absolutely. So it was having like the system, the processes, like really understanding your client's need, and okay, is this a good candidate? Is this going to be a good match? Yeah. So what'd you do to fix that, right? To correct that and take the next step, right? What, did you bring on some team members? Yeah. Did you bring on some people to look at the business, some consultants? Like, how'd you?
100%. And literally both. I started hiring the right people internally because we were making money. I was like, okay, I got to hire people that have a little bit more experience, understand what I'm trying to build, and mentorship. If you want to cut success, if you want to cut the time length of the success, you have to hire mentorships. You have to get into programs. And I hired people that built like recruiting businesses. One of my first mentors, shout out to Justin Sides, bro, he gave us one tip. Like, and he helped us with like building go high level and back end systems and, a lot of the recruiting stuff and ads, a lot of the value. But he gave me one tip that has made us so much money and has like basically we redid our whole structure of our business because I hired him. I paid him a lot of money. But at the end of the day, for me, if I pay you a lot of money and you bring me value back, even if it's not ROI immediately, it's ROI in the long term, 100% worth it.
And what was that tip, man? Don't give us a back.
So the way it works with us is the first 45 days of placement. Right. We do free replacements of free replacement the first 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks, right? After 6.5 weeks, this is the tip. We charge $99 a month. And if you want to replace someone, you get a 70% discount. So you would pay just 30% to replace them. Before I told him my owner was like, hey man, look, I'm charging people up front. I don't have any recurring. He's like, why don't you create a recurring where people get a discount? And I'm like, that's genius. So now we have like hundreds of people paying us $99 a month. And eventually that $99 a month is going to be two-part. It's going to be one part is going to be for the replacement and the other part is going to be towards the SaaS. So we're probably going to increase that. It's probably going to be $197 a month. So you get insurance and you get access to our SaaS platform because I want to be able to increase that. And one of the things that I learned recently is, man, I really want to get into the low ticket world. I was just at the High Level event. Are you familiar with Go High Level?
High Level, I've heard of it.
So it's a CRM. They're 5 years old. In 5 years, they have 60,000 users. Last year when I went to their event, they were worth $250 million after 4 years. Yeah. Now they're like 1.2 or 1.3 billion dollars.
Wow, amazing.
Their highest ticket price is like $497. Probably majority of their people are paying $97 or $297 a month. Okay. So to me, I'm like, that's very crazy because everybody's charging 5, 10, 20, 30, 40K. That's great. But in order to make a worldwide impact, you have to charge low ticket. In order for me to work with people in Colombia, work with people in the Philippines, and if I ever want clients there, I can't charge them US prices. Right. And that's not the goal at all. I'm just saying if you want to build an international business where you're helping the entire world, which is what Esteban and I want to do, you have to get into the low ticket world. So what we're doing is we're going to have a high ticket offer, which is we help you with the entire recruiting process A through Z. And then you're like, hey man, you know what? I have my systems. I want to recruit. Just where do I go? Boom. You go to remotetinos.com, go sign up, $97 a month, whatever. We haven't really priced it up yet. And then go find people on your own. So, yeah.
So that one tip, man, just completely changed your view on it, right? Like saying, okay, how else can I strap on more revenue here? How can I help more people? How can I reach more people? And ultimately, you're better servicing the client because of that, because you're actually charging them more for something recurring. You have that recurring relationship. So I love that, man. Exactly. So what are some of the top countries right now that you're finding talent? I know you have talent all over the place, but like, where are you finding?
Yeah, great question. So we hire from over 40 countries. And because I have one of my best recruiters and best sourcers in Colombia, he's been crushing it. So Colombia is number one.
Colombia's
Philippines, we're crushing the Philippines. You know, people have such a mixed feeling about the Philippines, but let me tell you something, man. In the Philippines, they have some of the most talented, loyal, hardworking, dedicated people. If you find the right people,
right?
If you don't find the right people, bro, you'll get screwed over in Colombia. You'll get screwed over. Doesn't matter. So Philippines has been amazing for us, and then some of the other ones that we've had success with is Nicaragua. They have amazing. English is one of their spoken languages. Mexico, Venezuela, and even Pakistan. You know, so we want to get more into like the Middle East world.
Right.
One of the things that I truly believe with, I had a call earlier about this, is that once we conquer Latin America, which is going to take years, the next spot is Africa. I think Africa is going to be incredible. I think it's already, billionaires are investing so much money in there. They're building some amazing infrastructure there. They have some of the most, they have natural resources. And I think we're not going to be the ones that are coming in there building cities.
Right,
they're going to be, that's going to already be formulated. And then once that's formulated, education's there, English is there, which is what everything starts with, learning English, at least for now. Then we want to take over Africa. That's the next step.
You had to learn English, right? You said English?
I did.
Yeah. What age did you start learning English?
I started learning English around 7, 8, and then I moved to the US when I was 11.
Yeah.
And then I had a really thick accent until about freshman or sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
Like I used to talk a little bit like this, you know,
like Russian,
like a little bit Russian, a little bit Hebrew.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had like a little bit of an accent. All my friends like laugh at it.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, one of the things I want to aspire with, you know, learning Spanish is that if I can learn Spanish at 27, at 28, almost my 30s now, I want people to learn English. Because once you learn English, you have a way to escape wherever you live. You can make American money, right? Maybe you don't make US like salary,
right?
But you make American money. For you to make $800 to $1,000 a month here in the US, in Colombia, and you only speak Spanish, man, you have some amazing corporate job,
right?
And that's like really, really hard to get.
Right.
Where if you learn English and you don't even have to, I don't even care if they went to college. It just so happens that most people that speak English here are educated. They went to college 4 years, 6 years, whatever.
Right.
Man, you escape that world. So for me, I want to inspire people by learning Spanish, for them to learn English so they can escape the barrios and be able to make money. I don't give a fuck where you live.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to support your family, support yourself. And once one person can do it in a community, this is the impact that we're having. Once one person can impact themselves, their family, other people in the community start talking about it.
I love
Especially
that.
here, man.
Yeah.
You go to barrios, you go to Comuna 13. I mean, everybody's like, they're all so tight. You know, it's like one big family lives like 1,000 together, right?
Yeah.
So when they hear one person having success, what do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, everything becomes possible, man.
Exactly. Dude, this guy can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it. Why can I not do this? And it starts with youth, right? We're changing the youth and a lot of stuff that we're doing now with the charities and, you know, donating money back to buy gifts for Christmas, which I love, and it's an amazing thing to do. But I'm like, that's cool. You'll play with a doll or like a toy for 1 or 2 years. How do we make a bigger impact? And that's by investing into the education here, investing into, you know, kids learning English, which is like one of the ultimate goals we have.
I love that, man. Yeah, absolutely. Everything starts with English, man. English is the international language of the world, man. If you learn English, I mean, you pretty much communicate in any city you go to, right? And virtually, like you said. So what sets Colombia apart than all the other places that you recruit, right? Why are you so strong here? Is it because you love it so much? Is it because you got someone on the ground? Like, what sets it up? Yeah,
I mean, it's a mix of that, but it's because I have someone on the ground. They're recruiting from a lot of places that they are familiar with, different websites, platforms, getting affiliates. Yeah, I mean, Henry's kind of well known here, so I think people always hit him up here. Man, I feel like Colombia has been attracting some amazing talent in general.
Right.
And I think it breeds amazing talent. To some of the best schools and education in Latin America is in Bogota. So because of that, we're able to attract some amazing talent. You know, it's actually interesting because Colombia is one of the least speaking English countries in Latin America.
Sure, I think it's ranked the least.
It's one of the least, right?
Yeah.
But the ones that speak English are some of the best talent. So for us, it's quality over quantity because I don't need 5,000 people right now. I need like hundreds of people.
Right.
And that's enough for us. That's like less than 0.01%. You know, that's how many people I need from all of Colombia. And it's honestly, it's not even our intention to help Colombians. It's our intention to help anywhere. I always ask my clients, I'm like, do you care about the talent or location? And 99% of the time it's talent, right?
Yeah.
So it just so happens to be Colombia. It's honestly not even our it's really just like happening. But ultimately, man, I want to help Venezuela. I want to help Bolivia and Paraguay. Like there's also countries that are struggling, and I'd love to help them. It's just it's a lot easier to access Colombian people. They're a lot more informed about American culture, so that helps big time. I don't know how informed or culturally similar Bolivia is to the US, but it probably is more familiar within other countries. So Colombia is super familiar, and in Mexico, I would love to go into Mexico even more. The problem is Mexicans are really smart in terms of understanding how much Americans get paid. So Mexicans always want to get paid $10 to like $12 an hour, which is still less than US people, but it's more than Colombian people. Right. So Mexicans are also, they're amazing. We've helped a ton of them, but that's why
every market's different, man. And you're looking at every single country as a market, man. So there's a lot of markets to actually analyze and know the ins and outs and the culture and all of it, the mindset and all of it, the time zones and all that, man. So what's your recruiting process like? Are you doing Zoom interviews? What sorts of questions? Are you putting them through tests? How are you getting these candidates to actually see, okay, is this somebody quality that I can place with the client? Walk me through that. Because I think that's critical.
So starting from the top, we used all sorts of different platforms like Torre and Remote Co, Facebook groups, LinkedIn, Remote Hub. It's like 10 different platforms that we use. Indeed, Upwork. We post job ads, and we also see what type of jobs people are looking for. We then get in touch with them and send them through an application process. Takes them anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to complete. In the application process, obviously it's all in English, so we can obviously see what they're answering. But really, what the next step is, what we ask them for the resume and the video. The video has to be very, very specific video. We ask them for specific questions that need to be answered, as well as a very organized, detailed resume. It needs to be professional. If you're like putting a resume on Google Doc without like putting any effort into it, we can tell.
You can tell.
So right there, we eliminate like 70-80% of people that go through our process. Once people submit the video, resume, and application, we then take them through an interview process. An interview takes anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. We ask them questions about themselves, just really getting to know them. And then what we do with our clients, because we work with investors and marketing agencies and e-com and lawyers, every client has different needs and wants and different standards. So we actually help create skill tests for our clients. They give it to us, skill test or personality test. We then, when we present them the candidates that we feel like are a good fit, we skill test the ones they like. Once they pass the skill test, then we take them through an interview process with our client. Because the way it works with us, we're a headhunting company. So the clients don't pay us to pay the VAs. The clients pay us upfront for the headhunting fee, but then they pay directly to the VAs, which is why one of the best reasons for, I don't like to call them the VAs, remote team members, which is why remote team members love working with us, because we don't take a penny from them, bro. We're just like, hey, go through this process. We give them a course. We give them a lot of tools to pass if they don't pass. And even if they do pass, we still give them a lot of value. And then ultimately, if they're good, man, we find them good clients, because I'm very, very, very picky on who we work with. So our process probably takes them a few days, sometimes a week or so to complete. And then they go through a whole other process with my clients, right? The skill test, being reviewing the candidates, and then interviewing. Usually my clients interview them 2 or 3 times per person. So at the end of by the time they got hired, it's like a 4 or 5 interview process.
Right. They put in a lot of work. A lot of effort.
A lot of effort, because at the end of the day, man, I absolutely, and this is, I'm sure you've noticed this, is a lot of people are really good on the interview process. Big talkers.
Yeah.
I can do this, I can do that, I'm this, I'm that. They speak great English. Right. If you talk to a Colombian person, they speak perfect English, you're like, whoa, you're already like almost turned on. You're like, whoa, this is great. And then what happens when they start working? It's like they're a different person. They don't show up. They're lazy. They come up with all these excuses, internet problems. I mean, that's like one of the biggest things. And we want to eliminate that as much as possible. And we have, 7 out of 10 times that someone hires with us, they stick for like 6 months to a year, right? And obviously we've only been around for like a couple of years, so we want to make that even better and better. Because for me, recruiting and hiring is all about retention. Right. How long? You tell me. I can see a good CEO based on how long and how well they pay their team members. That's how I judge a CEO. I don't give a fuck how much money the company makes, how much you pay your team members, because then I can kind of make the calculations on your profit margins and how long have they been with you. Because I don't know about you, but I used to work jobs where I used to sell cars before I got into the entrepreneurship space. And dude, I vividly remember within 1 or 2 weeks, the managers were gone, salespeople were gone, and we had such a high turnover rate. And I felt that hinders the culture, because I have a mistrust now. And I don't want that. I want a culture where people like feel happy. Like we have one of my hiring managers' birthday today, shout out to Juan, and he messaged me earlier. He's like, man, I'm so grateful for this team. I'm so grateful to be here. He's been here with us for 1.5 years, going on 2 years in May. that makes me so freaking happy, dude. Because I cherish longevity. I cherish being able to level people up, help them get paid. And yeah, I mean, our process is super dialed in, and we're only going to improve it. We actually have a few things that we're working on with. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Steve Trang from sales.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we actually partnered up with him in terms of leveraging his course. So now we have access to his course for $97 a month, which is crazy. He's giving away a lot of stuff. It's a 5K course. For $97 a month, our clients are going to get it, and for the candidates. So we're going to start putting people through his course to learn sales, lead management, cold calling. So that way, ultimately, the better equipped and the more knowledgeable the candidates are when they start working for you, the more successful they're going to be from the start. Instead of if they have all the potential and they have everything, the right attitude, but you still have to train them for a month, it's like, damn, I wish I could have saved that month. And we want to be able to help you within that first 2 weeks to 4 weeks, where when they come in and then within a week they're making calls.
Right.
And I'm not gonna say they're gonna come in and just sell, but they're making the business a lot more affluent from start instead of having to train them from scratch. And these people come in from solar, now they know nothing about real estate. So we want to be able to provide them more real estate resources, knowledge, and just help them. At the end of the day, I gotta help them so they can succeed in the job, and I gotta help you as a client with a person. So yeah,
everybody wins. Yeah, you know, that comes down to onboarding, right? I mean, because now we're getting into onboarding, because there's a statistic by Zappia, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, that says 88% of organizations don't onboard well, which causes employees to fall off quickly. You know, that's like a huge piece. And, you know, some people don't have onboarding, you know, some people just throw them right to the fire, right? But I love that you said you're partnering with Steve Trang, the course, all that. So are you helping clients do that? It's like, hey, look, these are some of the best practices to onboard them, right? For them to be successful. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, we actually do an onboarding call with them, right? And we recommend them doing another onboarding call, because our onboarding call is more general. Right. We go over what needs to be done. But I always tell clients, I'm like, you should do your own onboarding, like where you get really the specifics of the company. Because with us, it's more about like how to be efficient. You know, it's more generalized. It's very formal and it's very good. Like people have told us this. But I always recommend, when you work with an agency like us, to do 2 onboardings. But dude, for me, onboarding is everything. Like if they don't know your core values, what you stand for, what is the mission, what is the vision of the company, understand who they're working with, who they shadow, what is the expectations, because I like to create a short-term roadmap and a long-term roadmap. People don't do that.
Right.
I create a day-to-day, long-term, and short-term roadmap. They come in, they know exactly the schedule, right? Because it's very easy, in my opinion, to create that for cold callers and lead managers, because you're doing sales training and then here's a list call. But what happens for like acquisition managers? What happens for transactional coordinators, for dispo managers? Well, it's a little bit more complicated. Every day is a little bit different. You have some different tasks. If you're not onboarding those people properly, dude, they're not only going to fall off, you're going to lose all your deals on the back end.
Right.
Because who cares that you close a deal? If the deal falls through the transaction after, you didn't make money, nobody made money, you just lost all that time that you just spent. And to us, I mean, it starts with that process of doing it right from the start and going to what you said with the right onboarding.
Yeah, that's critical, man, because if they don't know what they're doing, they're going to be, you know, just messing up your business, right? It's going to be so inefficient. You're going to waste time, money, energy. You're going to be frustrated. Rather, if you have a set game plan from the start, then everything goes smoother. What do you think you think offices will go away, right? Do you see virtual staffing? Like, where do you see this, right? Because I'm sure it's something you contemplate. You know, because most of the people you're hiring, right? They're working from home, or they're working from, you know, maybe a co-working space or whatnot. But where do you see that?
So I truly believe you can build a multi-million-dollar business remote, 100%. However, I think that the best companies have a headquarters, which is one of the things that Esteban and I want to have. We want to build a headquarters where we do leader retreats, maybe once or twice a quarter, right? When we do team events, maybe once or twice a year. And I think that you can do everything remotely, but there still needs to be an in-person touch. I actually because of COVID and just like travel and all stuff, I haven't met my Filipino team. I probably only met maybe 5 out of 20 team members. And that like kills me, because I want to meet them. I want to be able to hang out with them, because I know I am in person.
Right.
They love me now. I'm like, dude, you're going to love me even more in person, because I love making people feel good. I like,
right.
Like, you know, at the end of the day, like, I feel like there are different levels to leaders, and there's different ways to lead. And I feel like I'm one of the leaders that motivates other people, brings them up, and I've never like talked down to them. I always feel like I always want to bring solutions. I never, ever, even when someone does something completely awful, they lose clients' money and I have to refund whatever, I've never screamed at anyone. I never talked down to anyone. I always try to think about how can we work together on this. So the reason I'm saying this is because in person, there's a different energy than there's on Zoom. I don't think you need to be in person every day. I think that's completely outdated, driving to an office and being there every day. But I think your leaders need to meet once or at least once a month. Esteban and I meet almost every month. Right now, it's like we're obviously the co-founders and we have other leaders in the company. So I think the leaders need to meet at least once or twice a quarter, maybe even once or twice a month. And then the rest of your team once or twice a year, do team retreats. When you hit the goal, fly people out. One of my close friends and client and also a mentor he's actually my very first client in November 2020. He's hired 13 people from us. His name is Eric Fosnat. He owns a painting company and a painting marketing agency. What he does, which I really love, is that he does events at the end of the year and he has a quarterly bonus for his team to hit. If the team hits their bonus for the quarter, he flies them out, pays for the whole thing. If they don't, they still are invited, but they have to pay for the plane ticket and really the plane ticket, but that's a lot of money. That's like, depends where they are. It could be, and he does their retreats here in Medellin. It's like, depending where you are, it's like $600-800. So he'll cover that if you hit your bonus, if you hit your KPI. He does it differently with every team member. So I think that's so cool, and that's like one of the things that we want to do is once we hit our goals and be able to fly people out. So to answer your questions, I think it's a mix. I think 80% remote, 20% in person.
I love that. Yeah, no, I mean, and it's true. You need that personal touch. You need that FaceTime. You need that. I got to shake your hand. Yes. I got to see your smile.
Yes.
I got to see your face. Yeah. It's like you can't replace that. And so I definitely agree there on that. So how does a business owner ultimately benefit working with you, right?
Yeah.
Hiring you, remote Latinos, because the statistics also show 46% of HR leaders report that recruiting is their top priority in 2023. So almost 50%, you ask any HR people.
Yeah. Great question. So for us, they benefit by saving time. That's the biggest thing. They're not gonna save money in the short run. We have upfront costs, but we're gonna save them time. Within 1 week of onboarding, they get to see candidates and ideally interviews. At latest, it's 2 weeks. We present them 3 to 5 caliber people that speak great English, that have experience, that have skill, that come in well adapted to what they're looking for. So it's time. It's really literally time, because as a business, the longer you wait to hire the person you need, the longer the more band-aids you're putting on this position, instead of finding the person that you can delegate the tasks to and be able to focus on what you need to do. And also, as a business owner, as a CEO, every single second that you spend recruiting, you're not spending marketing, you're not spending time on sales, you're not spending time on building the culture, you're spending time recruiting. You're a recruiter. Right. What are you doing, right? So that's where we come in, right? And one of the things that I do, man, we closed 4 clients in the last 2 days, which is so cool. And one of the people I talked to, he's like, dude, look, I put a job ad out and I have a couple of job ads. I'm like, dude, you have job ads out right there? I don't want to work with you. And no offense. And I told him that. I'm like, if you have the time and energy and you want to put job ads, how about I'm going to give you the resources that we use and you go out there and you try to find someone on your own. I want to work with someone that doesn't even have the second of the day to think about putting a job ad, going through hundreds of applicants, trying to figure out who's good or not, trying to go through tests, and then do interviews, and then the interviews might not be good, and then you hire someone that sucks.
Right.
So for us,
that's not your avatar.
100%. My avatar is business owners that don't have time, that have their shit together, that have money, that have revenue coming in, and they'd rather invest into a recruiter that can come in and help them with this process and finding the right team members. And dude, we give clients control. You're 100% in control. You're choosing who you want to interview. You choose who you want to hire. If they don't work out, you come back, you'll fire them, you'll choose who you want to rehire. We're holding your hand the whole time. We're also we're consulting with you as well, but ultimately you make the decision. It's 100% done with you, not done for you. So yeah.
I love that, man. So what are some of your clients, right? What verticals are they in? Is it real estate? Is it painters, right? You told me you talked about that. Roofers, people that are running call centers. Like who are you working with?
Yeah, great question. So in the beginning, it was a lot of marketing agency owners, some e-com brands. And then because marketing agency owners have a niche that they work with, I started getting a lot of their clients. So painters, lawyers, dentists, gym owners. At one point we had 15 different industries. Then with Remote Latinos, about a year and a half ago, we really started switching towards one niche, because at the end of the day, if you want to become great at anything, you got to focus. Right. You try to help everyone, you end up helping no one, right? So that's when we switched to real estate investing. And today we work with some of the big dogs in the space: Ryan Pineda, James Hodges, Brent Daniels. We just got off a call with Ken Clothier and his team about potentially partnering up with them on some things. So we work with some of the big dogs, and because we work with the big dogs, they refer us a lot of business. Right. So the way we built this business is 100% word of mouth. Funny enough, actually, last week was the first call I took from paid ads. Before that, it was 100% word of mouth, 100% from my brand, from Esteban's brand. And I mean, dude, it's been so cool because that's the power of personal brand, is being able to, meet people like you and meet people like all over the US, and especially like some of the big dogs. So yeah, we work with some of the powerful people, man. It's pretty cool because if you do right by them, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's a game changer. So we have a affiliation process, and, going back to Go High Level, they're 100% affiliates. They're at 60,000 users worth of over $1 billion. Dude, they don't spend a single penny on marketing.
Oh, the affiliate, like
100%.
Yeah.
It's literally affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, I want to do that. This is what I want.
Right.
I want to be able to diversify how you get leads, paid ads, cold email, cold calling. I think that's all great. But I think the most powerful brands today is when they come from word of mouth. If Andres sends me a client and he's like, dude, I trust these guys, go to Remote Latinos, dude, the sales call is easier. The client's easier. It's like the whole process is so much easier.
Right.
But if you come to me, you never heard about me, I have to sit there and like sell you on the process and almost like not necessarily beg you, but I have to go through a sales process, which I've done. Man, it's just different. I've done that. I've done that for 4 or 5 years. I'm like, I just want to get affiliates.
Absolutely.
It's easier. It makes the relationship better. I love starting on the right foot with clients, because for me, what's important is being able to build real relationships with clients. Like being able to have them come to Medellin, Colombia, which I've done many times. Have them travel, meet them in masterminds, go out with them, party with them. I like that. I want to have, obviously it's not going to happen with every client, but I want to build, to me, relationships is more valuable than money. You pay me $2,000 and then let's say you pay me $2,000, you get a VA, okay, cool. But then you never talk to me, I don't care about that. I'd rather go hang out with you and go out and you introduce me to your crowd, I introduce you to my crowd. That is so much more powerful than $2,000, $3,000, you know what I mean? So yeah, some of the big dogs again, Ryan.
Real estate investors. I mean, that's my audience, right? If you guys want to get hooked up, man, this guy's the real deal, doing real business. So we're going to obviously leave all the links down below later on.
Yep.
But that's just a preview right there. So have you ever recruited someone away from another company, right? Because you said you're a headhunter, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that meme, what I think I do, what my mom thinks I do, what I really do.
Yeah.
So, man, have you ever run into that? Or, because some people will do that, right? They're out there on LinkedIn, on all the websites, right? They want to, especially like I think of like maybe like a higher level position, like a CEO or COO or CFO or things like that, right? But have you ever had to do that where it's like, man, you were really after one person? It's like, hey,
so I have, it's yes and no. I have, but only when they're not happy where they're at.
Right.
If you tell me, dude, I'm happy, I love my boss, I love the culture I'm in, I'm getting paid well.
Right.
Bro, God bless. For me, at that point, if I take you, I'm over promising you so much. So the expectation is here, well, the expectation should be here.
Right.
I want to under promise and over deliver. So yes, if they're not happy, if they want to, sometimes people are happy when they want to get paid more.
Right.
Sometimes they get paid a lot, but they freaking hate what they do.
Right.
So at that point, I'm like, come work for us. Right. There's a girl right now that I'm talking to, and she's here in Colombia, likes her job, gets paid pretty well, but she feels like she could do more. She wants to. She feels like she's stuck, but she gets paid very well, even for Colombia. I think she was like, yeah, I make $1,500 or $2,000 a month. I'm like, dude, that's really good. That's gonna be hard for us to find you something. It's possible, but it's gonna be hard. And but she's like, because she feels stuck. Right. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, ooh, that's not good. Because as a person, especially as a young person, especially as a Latina, like you feel stuck. It's like, bro, that's not good. That's not the right mindset. Let me actually try to help you out. We might not too. So at that point we do. But eventually we're gonna have to poach people. Like one of my dreams, it's gonna sound fucked up. So if you're watching, I'm sorry. Eventually we're gonna start poaching people from Rappi. We're gonna start poaching people from Airbnb and like Microsoft and like people like that, like that are high level. And again, I don't want to overpromise anyone ever. If they're happy with everything, why? It's like being in a happy relationship and then cheating on your girl.
Right.
That's like have you ever had a friend that did that and you're like, you cheat on her? Like I'm almost disgusted with you. Like, what is wrong with you, right? Versus your friend that cheats on a girl, but that girl treats him like shit, doesn't talk to him, doesn't sleep with him, doesn't do anything. It's like, of course he cheated on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're in a happy relationship, genuinely, you love her to death, she has your back, you have your back, and you cheat on her, you're a piece of shit, you're a scumbag, you're never going to be happy, right? So it's the same thing with a job. If you're happy, you get paid well, culture's good, schedule's good, they give you breaks, they give you time off, they treat you well, and then you think you can do better just because you think you can do better. But in reality, like this is as good as it gets for now. Maybe in the future you can get better. Then it's like wishful thinking, and I don't want to deal with delusional people because then it becomes where I'm a delusional company owner. right? So you got to deal with, it's all about being realistic. We can dream big.
That sounds like a name of a t-shirt. Delusional company owner.
There's literally, but if you think about it, like you meet people, like at the end of the day, you and I, where we are today is because we had a delusion at some point.
Right.
But if every single day we wake up, we're delusional, we're never going to make shit happen. Right? You're going to have big dreams and you want to have big goals and admirations 100%. But if you're delusional about everything that you do, it's like, dude, you're going to go into a circle and you're going to end up not where you want to be.
I love that, man. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to take someone away, like you said, that's happy, and it's like, then what happens, right? And I've heard stories like that. It's like, hey, man, I was happy at this place, but I went to this place, and it was just
all the time.
It was just all, a smoke show or whatever, a dream. So what sort of, we talked about the Steve Trang, and I love that. What other support are you giving these candidates, right, to keep them motivated and, because they're appreciative, right? That you're helping them, you're changing their life, they're changing trajectory, right? Like you call that butterfly effect, so to say.
Yep.
And every action has a different outcome, right?
Yes.
So what are you doing for these folks?
Yeah.
Or it's like, man, you're crushing it.
100%. So Esteban and I, so a little bit about Esteban. He runs a 7-figure marketing agency for real estate investors. He's worked with hundreds of investors in the last 3 to 4 years. So him and I have built a course, right, professionally shot, that we spent time building, creating, formulating, about working remotely, how to get a job, where to go, how to level up your skill sets, what to do when you get the job, how to keep the job. We give them literally so much value. Number one. Number two, we have a support group on Facebook. Every 2 weeks, we do a call with, today we had almost 80 people show up to the call, that we answer their questions. We show them, we tell them like, hey, like today we had a call with our Natalie, who's our candidate success coach. She leads the calls, and Juan, who's our hiring manager. We literally go on the calls. Like, this is literally what our clients are looking for. Like, we're in interviews. Right. We know what these clients are looking for, and because we work with so many different verticals, we see a repeated pattern. So we give them support in the Facebook group. We give them a course. We check in with them. We have them follow up with us. And on top of that, any person that they send to us that gets hired, we pay them $100 per person. This year alone, I paid like $3,000 to $4,000 just for people referring us affiliates to affiliate candidates, not clients, affiliate candidates. So we pay them if they send us people. We give them support in the course. We have the Facebook group for support, and I have a team. I have a whole team. There's only one person on my company that doesn't talk to candidates. He talks to clients. He's my appointment setter. Everyone else is at some sort of level is talking to candidates. So there's like 16, 17 other people that is talking supporting people, supporting candidates. So that is the business. Right. It's not just clients. Clients, I've already gotten down. I've worked with clients. I've been in service business.
Everyone's a client. Everyone's a client. Exactly. Everyone's a client. Because if you can show a client how to make money with hiring someone, we'll be like, hey, why not? Yeah. So your real clients are
candidates.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Prospects. So that you can place, and they can make money. Yeah. And your clients can make money. So I love that, man. You're giving back a lot. So what are the biggest challenges, right, with having a virtual team, right? Because you said 80-20, right? 80% virtual, 20% in person. But what are some of the challenges? Because it's not all glitz and glamour. I like personal. I like to have my team in person. Like, I like to touch them, like to feel them. So to say, man, I like to give them a high five. I like to hug it out, laugh it up. You can't really replace that. No, it's off a Zoom call. But what are some of those challenges?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, man, I'm a people person too. I love going out. I love meeting people. Like, I live with 3 roommates, like, that became like my best friends. So like, I love being with people for sure. But the challenge is you do lose a personal touch. I don't know how someone feels throughout the day unless I get on a call with them. Where in the office, you have the advantage of going and you can see someone's in a bad mood. You can kind of feel the energy. If you can go into Zoom and smile and have a great energy for 30 minutes, and then I don't know what's your energy like throughout the day. Even with Slack messages, everything can seem good, but then I don't know what happened. So there are certain things that are very hard to calculate, and I would say the biggest one is emoting with people, really connecting with them emotionally, which is so important for building relationships, building long-lasting relationships. Because everything's done remotely, I have to get on multiple calls or guess how people are feeling. And that sucks, right? I've gotten good enough. And the biggest thing that I've done with my team is build such a trust circle where not only do they trust me, but they trust each other. And we're able to share that with each other. One of our core values is candor, which is freedom of expression, right? You have to tell me how you feel. Like, I hate saying you have to tell me, but if you don't tell me how you feel, how can I help you?
Right.
And I want them, obviously I'm their boss, the CEO, whatever, but I want them to have I want to have a relationship with them, like as a friend, that they can trust me, because some of the team members we've had and we have, maybe they don't have a lot of friends, maybe they're single, maybe they, and a lot of times when they come to work, this is like their life. Right. And it is to a certain degree, because you spend most of your time as an adult working.
Absolutely.
So imagine working with a toxic boss, toxic members, and we've had that. We've had people come in that were not the right fit, and it like ruins a culture. So I think you can catch one of the biggest things with working in an office is you catch things earlier on. You're able to do the little things a little bit faster. You're able to emote with them. Some of those things take a little bit of time. Sometimes I'll say something on Slack, I'm busy, they're busy, and then the whole day passes and we didn't get it done, right? Because I can go into the office, hey Andres, can you get this done? Hey Jennifer, can you get this done, right? So all those things, in my opinion, overlap the good of the remote world, but I'm not stupid. There are certain things that are definitely in person, being able to touch them and emote with them. I think it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no replacement for that. I mean, I don't think any technology, AI, metaverse is gonna really be able to replace that. So what are some ways that you can track, that you tell these clients, right? Because they're going to be all remote, right? I feel like that's one drawback, right? Although there is solutions to that, to be able to track these virtual employees, making sure they're being productive, making sure they're actually working, and, what are some tips that you can give people to kind of automate these things or whatnot?
Yeah, great question. So I've worked with virtual assistants and remote team members since for almost 5.5 years, right? So I have a lot of experience. What I'm about to say, I have done in the past. I don't do it anymore. But the number one platform that I always tell people to use is Hubstaff. Hubstaff is great. It tracks the time. You can check on the work of the team members. It also tells you how much they're owed. Especially if they're on an hourly rate, you can literally calculate how much they made based on clocking in and clocking out. That's a really good one. But I would say the two biggest ones, man, is making sure that you have the right systems in place in the first place.
Right.
And KPIs. That's it, man. If you have KPIs, you have systems, it is easy to track, and you can literally see what your team is doing based on, you need to get 5 hirings in a month. I need you to get 10 closes. Did they hit it? Did they not? Right? I actually don't care if my team works 40 hours a week. I care if the job gets done. If you do it in 35 hours, great. If you do it 30 hours, great. Right? And usually it takes about, the work that I give them takes about 40 hours, right?
Right.
But some team members finish their week a little less. I don't care. For me, did the job get done? Right? Kobe Bryant has the famous quote after game 2 of the finals in 2008. It was job not finished. Right. It was game 2. They're up 1. They're up 2-0, and they're like, "Hey, Kobe, how do you feel? How do you feel about being up 2-0?" He's like, "Is the job done? Job not done." And I love that, because at the end of the day, it's not done. They're up 2-0. Who cares? They have 2 more games. They could easily lose. They could easily come back on. So for me, Hubstaff is great. But systems, KPIs, processes, doing the daily check-ins, having the team meetings. We used to do team meetings with my entire team, but now the team got too big, so now we have department meetings. So every department meets every single day. There's an end-of-day report that they have to submit every single day. So things like that, I've been able to track everything, and nothing really falls through the cracks. And if it does, you'll get caught. Again, that's the one negative about the remote. It might get caught a little bit later than it should. Right. But it will get caught. Because I have a famous quote that I truly live by and live and breathe by, which is everyone gets exposed at the end. Everyone gets exposed at the end. No matter what kind of person you are, you're a great person, good, you're going to get exposed. You're a bad person, you're going to get exposed. So Hubstaff is really good for people to start. Yeah.
I love that, man. Yeah, it's a key tip, because you do have to make sure everybody's on point, right? Because you could have someone saying, "Hey, I'm working," but you're not seeing the results. And then
it's results oriented, man.
No, nothing matters besides the results. So every business needs to keep marketing, right? So how are you marketing for talent, right? Which is the most critical piece. And then clients, I've seen you go to a lot of masterminds, a lot of events where we're just talking now. It's a lot of word of mouth. Yeah. But what are you doing for your marketing?
100%. The biggest thing that we're doing is investing into our personal brand, right? Like one of the things I ask you, man, hey, can I get the raw footage? Right. I want to, so Esteban and I are building our brands. We're building the company brands. One of the coolest things that I think I've ever done, and it's shout out to my team, they did it, is that, dude, they started making videos about working remotely. Like if you go to the Remote Latinos, you go to using Fava Page, which is my first company, they were literally consistently posting content from not just my perspective, but my team's perspective. Wow. So it's creating the personal brand, number one, then investing into masterminds, investing into programs that we can go in, events, shake people's hands again. The one hand you shake can change your entire freaking world completely, right? And in terms of talent, we're advertising every single day. We're making job postings. We're in every single Facebook group you can imagine. And we have affiliates. I think people like to get paid based on referring people. Right. So we have affiliates. So we have affiliates with clients. We have 20% on any client that signs up with us. We pay up 20%, and then we pay $100 per person that gets paid. $100, like we paid thousands of dollars already. So like, why not send people that you know that need a job?
Absolutely.
So I think one of the things I learned is that you have to have multiple streams of getting leads. You cannot just run on one lead form. So for us, getting clients is the masterminds, is the personal brand. We actually are going to be doing cold calling very soon. We just started running paid ads. And then we are doing one more thing. We also, one of the things that we do with Esteban, because he owns his own 7-figure agency, we get clients from him. So we actually get clients and affiliates from his agency. So man, we have all different ways of getting clients, because at the end of the day, that is the lifeline. I can say whatever I want about clients. That's the lifeline. That's the bloodline of a business, right? The heart of what keeps the business going is the candidates, the back end, the system. So yeah, we have like 6 different ways of getting clients and talent.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, you got to keep marketing, man, because once you start marketing, everything comes to an end. So it sounds like you're continuously marketing
Always.
every single day, which is key. So what does your team look like? I know you said you had now department meetings. So walk me roughly through what the team looks like, because there's a lot of moving parts.
Yep.
Education, onboarding, training, screening, applications, posting,
everything.
So walk me through that, man.
Yeah.
What does the team look like? How do you keep the business operating like that?
Yeah, so we have sourcers, which I used to call recruiters. They're the ones that find the talent. Then I have interviewees, which we call talent assessment. They're the ones that interview the talent.
Okay.
Then I have hiring managers, which actually connect the candidates with the clients. I have my client success manager, which is on the client interviews with the candidates. Then I have we have an appointment setter. We have my video editor. We have see if I'm missing anyone. We have my systems integrator. We have our UX UI designer, Mar, who's helping us create our platform. I mean, literally like 10 different roles that we have. I would say the ones that are most popular for sure are my recruiters, sourcers, my interviewees, and then my hiring managers, because that is like those 3 right there are like the core of the business. We also have candidate successors. I have inbound people that, because we've recruited thousands and thousands of people. Sometimes it's best to go into your own pipeline,
right,
to find the candidates, to find the clients, rather than go out there just get someone else.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many deals on a yearly basis do you find just in your own pipeline?
Right.
That's the same thing for us with candidates and clients that we have on literally every single day. So we have people dedicated for that. And for me, like, dude, I want to have a big team.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's got to be reasonable. We got to have profit margins. We got to have, like, things have to work right. But I want to have a big team. I want to have a team of 100 people. Like, there's some of the people, I don't know if you're familiar with Cole Gordon. So he owns Closers.io. I have a few close friends that work for him. Dude, they go to team retreats. There's like 130 people there. I think that's so fucking cool. They have people from all over the world, all over the US, Canada, from all over fly. I think I'm like, that's what I want. I want to have 100 plus team members, because I think that is such a valuable asset to have when you have such a big team member. Some people literally build companies and they have like 3 or 4 team members. And I think that's cool. Like, go for it. But for me, if you want to build an asset, when a company comes in and wants to buy your company, they look at, you have so many different team members, you have leaders that you've bred, because in order to have a big team, you have to have leadership, right? So from when I say I want to have 100 team members, that probably means I have to have probably about 15 or 20 leaders, right? That lead each department. Then I have my executives, right? So when I say that, that's literally what I mean. So yeah, I mean, 10 different roles, about close to 20 different people, and we're just going to keep adding on. We're recruiting all the time. I'm sure you heard the quote, ABC, always be closing. We have ABH, always be hiring.
Always be hiring.
Because you never know who's in your pipeline.
Absolutely.
We always have ads running. We always look for talent, because you never know, man. I'm the first person that sees the talent, especially if we look for a new person. ABH, you always want to have ads out. You always want to be able on the lookout. One person can come into your business, change your operations, your systems, your sales, your appointments, your call calling, whatever it is.
I love that, man. And talking about leaders.
Yeah.
How did you grow into a leader, right? Because you went from Israel, Russia, moving to the US, right? That shaped you a lot. And now you're talking about you have to have 15 leaders, right? You have to have more. I mean, the more leaders you have in your team, the stronger your team's going to be. So talk to me about leadership, right? How did you develop as a leader, and how are you developing other leaders?
I think the best leaders are doers. They lead by example. They don't talk about it. They be about it. I think that's number one where it starts. Is you literally be about it. You don't just sit there and, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Like, your team watches every move that you make, from your social media to how you perform at work to how communicative you are, all that stuff. So for me, I just follow the leaders that led me. Right. Before you're a leader, you're a follower. Every leader, before they're a leader, they're a follower. And then when you follow the right leaders, you have to ask yourself, what kind of leader am I? right? You have to identify with different types of leadership and different type of styles. And once I started doing that, I'm like, okay, I want to be a leader that motivates my team, never talks down to them, and makes them trust me. I actually did a test recently, like a personality skill test, and I'm a really high synergist, which means that I'm really, really good with people. That's
right.
My leadership style is creating the culture, creating the team. One of the things that I've been told 2 times by my 2 previous mentors, which I used to work for, they said, when you left, the whole team felt it.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, I didn't realize that, because you don't know that. I didn't know that.
Right.
It's a culture. I love building cultures. I love coming in and getting to know people. How you do that is you have to actually care about the people that work for you. What's their situation like? Where are they from? Same things, almost like what you're doing with me right now, I'm doing with my team. Where they are, where they want to get to, what's stopping them, how can I help them? They're here now, they want to get to here, no matter what. Is here in my company, or is it somewhere else? Because if it's somewhere else, great. I've helped people find other jobs, find other careers. Maybe it's like a triple their pay. Maybe it's a better, lifestyle, whatever it is. So I just follow the leaders that taught me everything that I needed to know. And I asked myself, what kind of leader I want to be? I want to be there for my team. I want to be reliable. I want a team that trusts me. And then the greatest leaders in the world create leaders. So if you're a leader and you have no leadership in your team, and you're the only one that does everything, you're always going to be stuck. You're always going to go to circle. You're never going to be able to delegate, not just tasks, but higher level work. So the best leaders, which is what I'm working now, is working on breeding leaders and creating my own leaders. One of the things that I've learned in this past year was you want to be very careful when you hire someone that's high level and promoting them too soon, right? You want to make sure that you're promoting the right people that have earned it before they just have the experience and the skill to do it. So I'm a true believer of bringing your own leadership, bringing your own leaders, and doing it and not talking about it, and just being about it more than just like, I'm a great leader. Like, let my team, ask my team how good a leader I am, right? I always tell, you want to know how good of a leader and your character is, what do people say about you when you're not around? If I come to your team member right now and ask him, how is Andrés as a leader? What would your team say?
You're going to say strong.
That's it.
Exactly.
Right? He's strong. He's there for me. He's a fucking badass motherfucker. That's what I want to hear from them, right?
Yeah.
And that's good, right? That's what you want to hear. Otherwise, I'm sure we know people, right? That know people, whatever. That if we ask them, how is XYZ as a boss or as a leader, I can't wait to leave. I literally look at the clock. I can't wait to clock out. I don't want that. So yeah.
Absolutely, man. No, I love that. Yeah. And leaders create other leaders. So I agree with you 100% there. What investments are you focusing on, right? Towards the end of here, 2023, 2024, into the business. What are you looking at? How do you see AI, other technologies affecting the space, for improvement, for disruption? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean, investments, 100% the biggest investment is our company and my team. Mm-hmm. I lost close to 6 figures on crypto and Bitcoin and bullshit that I didn't know about. Then
are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah. No, I'm not kidding. Not joking at all.
You're the first one I've heard to lose some money on.
No, well, I'm sorry to hear that. You might not know a lot of people then. No, I literally lost like a lot of money on Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Shiny objects and
100%, and we were making so much money from it in 2021.
Right.
Like we could have easily pulled out. So I just noticed, man, the biggest investments I can make, number one is myself, because without me, like none of this is possible.
Absolutely.
Right. And number two is my team, my company, my business, the people in my company, right? Investing into them, into courses, growing them, leading them. Like I want to find a way to like every leader to give them like a course or something where they get to learn and grow, right? Reading books, courses, and just really leveling up. That's the number one investment. Then the number two, that's when I eventually want to, invest into headquarters, like I mentioned. Right. I want to get into real estate. The reason I'm into REI out of all the industries that I could have been in is because I want to do real estate investing.
Absolutely.
Right? That is the goal. Like I want to say 60 or 70% of billionaires are like they have money and so much money in real estate.
Yeah.
It's real estate.
Estate's everywhere.
Everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everything. It's
can't escape it.
Not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And guess what? It starts here, then it's going to go into the metaverse.
Right.
And then it's going to go to Mars.
Right.
It's just going to keep going. The only difference is going to be the value of it. Right.
Absolutely.
So, the team, myself, and then eventually, obviously, into real estate. One thing about AI, it's here, it's the future. I'm kind of terrified of it. You listen to Elon Musk talk about it. He was just on Joe Rogan. And I mean, dude, it's like, if the wrong people get their hands on it, it's going to be scary. It's not going to scary times are not here yet.
Right.
So now the best way, someone told me this the other day, and I thought this was genius. It said, AIs are not going to replace people's jobs. People that don't use AI will replace people's jobs. So you have to incorporate AI into the workforce, into recruiting, we're incorporating AI now to like a lot of different departments in our company, because it's like a must. Like, how are you not using AI? How do you not want to make your life better and easier? So that's how I see AI. Of course, there are certain things that are a little sketchy about it, but yeah.
Yeah, always the best investment you can always make is in yourself. I don't think that's ever going to change. So what's been the hardest failure that you've had to face in your career so far with this business in the past? What has that been, and what did you learn from that?
It's a good question. Biggest failure, I would say, I'll say not niching down faster, right? Trying to help everyone and going after every businesses, because it was so easy to get business because, you know, my marketing agency clients like, dude, I have a dentist for you. I have a lawyer for you. I have a gym owner for you. And I was just accepting everyone instead of being like, no. Well, we still like help them, but now we don't focus on that at all. Like if you come to me, that's easy money. But like the focus right now is real estate investors and like working with wholesalers and, you know, flippers and Airbnb rental people and all that good stuff. So it's not focusing faster.
Yeah.
I would say that's one. And then the other one I would say is, I would say it's more of my regret, which has like nothing to do with this, but I think about this quite often. I'm like, I wish I would have played more sports as a grown up, like not as a grown up, but as a kid. Like I wish I played soccer when I was a kid. That was my favorite sport up until like, you know, like early 20s. I wish I got into sports. And then what I realized is like,
Did you ever play soccer?
I did. I played soccer when I was in Israel, like all the time. And I was like, you know, I was pretty decent. I think I came here. I remember being like the second best in my middle school and in elementary school. And the kid that was better than me, he was actually like close to being on the Tunisian team. So he's really good. He played professionally. But I just like stopped playing. Yeah. And I started like liking NFL and football and like, you know, just not doing it. And like in my head, I'm like, dude, my kids, dude, I'm dedicating my life to them when I have kids in the future for them to be in sports, whether it's soccer, whether it's MMA, whether it's football, like whatever it is. I think it's so important to learn sports. Dude, it's for kids. It's like such a lesson. You learn teamwork. You learn hard work. You learn discipline. You learn who your mentors are. You start looking up to people, right? Like the best athletes in the world, you want to look up to them, right? Like if my kid starts watching MMA, I'm like, okay, you got to, you know, follow these incredible athletes. But what do they do outside? I don't want you to just follow like, you know, John Jones, who freaking gets arrested every other week. I want you to follow people that have the right values in and out of the ring, right? I want you to follow, if you watch soccer, follow Messi, follow Ronaldo, follow these people. I think the fastest way to acquire mentorship as a kid is sports.
Absolutely.
So I would say that was not really a failure, but more of a regret.
Right. Not doing that. I'm with you. Talking about social media, right? The branding, the networking, you know, that's why you and I are here. What impact has that had on your business? Because I know it's been immense. Yeah. And what's some of your best advice there for personal branding, for being on social, for being on all these social media platforms that are just inevitable nowadays?
Yeah, man. I mean, it changed my life. You know, 3 to 4 years ago, I started taking it pretty serious. You know, I started recording like videos probably about 2 years ago. So I went to a mastermind and the guy was like, dude, you got to start recording videos. And our videos have gotten like so much better. If people like go on my Instagram and they just scroll up, do a few scrolls. It's not like I have a million posts. And they go to like last year and they see the quality of my videos and the editing compared to what it is today. It has completely changed. I mean, the impact, first off, I've been able to connect with people like yourself and amazing individuals that are influential and just like good people. Also like chicks. I also like the fact that you can get into the chick world. It definitely helps. Like I think dating world, you know, if you want to make sure that the girl that is with you understands that, holy shit, I'm with this guy. Like this is crazy. Like this guy's clearly successful. He's clearly focused. He's clearly has shit going. I can't be like stupid. So I think it helps. Like I'm not. It's not about like oh just having sex and blah blah blah. I'm saying like if you want to attract the right girl and you have no social media. Just like if I go to a girl and she has no social media, it's like a red flag. Right. I go to a girl's page, she has one photo. I'm like, what happened? Like you deleted your whole Instagram. You know, it's like so. So I think it has made an insane amount of impact in my life in terms of business and relationships that I've made, but also more into my dating life. And then lastly, like just being able to, I truly believe the biggest impact it has made for me in my heart and my soul is it has made my parents proud. Yeah. Like before that, my parents didn't believe in me. We've had like ups and downs in our relationships. Like I dropped out of college. I have tattoos. I have like all this stuff that they just never supported. And they were always like questionable. And now they send me clients. They send me people to sign up with us. They're like so proud of us. They tell me how proud I am. And it's like, they never said that before. And I truly believe a lot of that comes because of how much I post on social media, where it's undeniable the amount of success that we've had, where we're headed. And dude, to me, I'm like, dude, we're just fucking getting started. Like, I'm literally like, yeah, I'm 3 years in, two and a half, 3 years in, but like, I feel like I'm level 1.
Yeah, you're really warming up.
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, dude, this is a 10, 20 year plan. I'm 28. Like, I didn't know what I want to do. I was always scared. I don't know about you, but in my early 20s, especially when I started doing this, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. So I always want to do sales, coaching, market. I don't know. But this, what I'm doing now, like even if I exit, I will find my way back into recruiting. I don't know what it is, whether it's a SaaS, whether it's consulting, whatever it is. I want to be in the HR, human resources world. I love it. I'm passionate about it. I love helping people. I'm a people person. So for me, dude, this is a 10, 20, 30 year plan. You know, one of the things I tell my team members, I can't wait to watch some of them get married. I can't wait to have them watch them have kids. I have like paid for one of my team members' weddings. Like that to me is like the coolest thing in the world because I get to see them grow with me.
That's
like,
amazing, man.
And I think you have to have that vision for yourself, for your company, because some people, you know, they always ask, do you want to exit? And I feel like that question is like so monetarily perceived because when you exit, it's just money. It's like when you exit, you want to be out. Why would you exit out of something that you love and you want to be you're passionate about? Like Elon Musk doesn't want to fucking exit out of Tesla,
no,
or SpaceX or anything like that. So for me, of course, they're money talks, right? So if someone offers me a ridiculous amount of money, like yes, I'll have to definitely consider it, right? But I'm not even thinking about that, right? You always want to build to sell, but if you're building only to sell, then I feel like you're not building a business you're truly passionate about. You're building just a cash flow business, which is totally cool. That's just not what I'm building. For me, I want to build something that's here that I can eventually maybe pass on to my future kids, to, you know, maybe have other equity partners and have family members come in and somehow support them because we're able to help, you know, such a vast majority of people.
I love that, man. That's very, very passionate, very deep from the heart. Who's the real Omer, right? The people who don't see, you know, they don't see you on social media, right? So what's something that you haven't shared publicly that no one knows about, you know, because we just talk about social media, everybody's seeing on you. But, you know, who's that? What's something that people can't see on social media, right? That you...
Yeah. This is funny, actually. Because I think people that follow me on social media, they see I'm building business. Obviously, I have all these clients, and obviously I like to party. Right? I go out. We go. Like, we were just in Guatapé. We had a party here. We have a party next weekend. Blah blah blah. So I do like to have fun, but I think people don't realize I'm actually a big time homebody. I love being home. I love listening to podcasts. Like, it doesn't have to be like even an educational podcast, like a comedy podcast. I love watching stand-up. One of my biggest passions and one of my biggest dreams is to do stand-up in the future and like make people laugh. It's super fucking hard. I think I'm funny. People say I'm funny, but I don't know if it's because I look funny or if I'm actually funny. But like, I really want to be able to go on stage and like make people laugh. I think that's like one of the things I absolutely love. But I think I'm a bigger homebody than people think because I do travel a lot. I do party a lot. Not a lot, but I do party. But I'm a big time homebody. Like, I can literally be, if I wasn't living with my current like best friends, I'd probably be home a lot more and probably go out like a lot less. But I think when you live with people that want to live, I'm like, yo, I have big FOMO, you know. So I'm like, I can't.
Gonna drag you out, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I'm all about it. You know, I have the energy now. But I think I'm a homebody, man. I'm super chill. I'm watching a movie. I play video games. I watch anime. I think I'm like, people don't know I'm a little bit of a nerd as well. So I'll say that.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What drives you to keep going, man? Because look, you've been through so much in your life, man, and you still keep going, and you have this ambition, and you want to grow this to help tens of thousands of businesses, right? For 10, 20 years, man, and you're so sure in that. But what is it that keeps you going, man?
First things first, I will not consider myself financially free, or financially successful until my parents are retired. Number one, family, my mom, dad, and my sister, that money is not an issue in their life. Like, that's not the thought. They can do whatever they want. My mom wants to probably get into real estate. My dad loves to listen to music. My sister, you know, still figuring life out. She's 18 years old. So like, still figuring out what she wants to do. First things first, take care of them, take care of my family back in Israel and my cousins. Like, just so money's not in there. And, you know, if money's not a thought to you, because right now money for me, it's not like I'm rich, but like, I don't think about the things that I buy as much as I used to. Right. So I think that's the first thing, like, cross that off. That's number one. So that's what the first driving force. The second driving force is making a world impact because, dude, this is a deep quote. This is like the deepest quote to me. It makes me almost cry. But you die twice. When you get buried and the last time anyone says your name. Do you know who your great-great-grandpa is?
I don't, man.
I don't want to do that. And then maybe that's super egotistical of me, but I want to be remembered forever. I want to make an impact on third world countries. I'm here and I feel like I take so much from Colombia. And one of the things that I mentioned earlier is I want to be able to give back and build an education platform where people are learning English, right? I don't love school. I do think there's some important to school. You learn discipline, blah, blah, blah. But I think most of school, 80% of it is complete bullshit. And I don't think you need it, but you do need English. And sometimes you can learn English through learning history and learning science and learning other things. So I think one of the things that I want to do selfishly, and I think when I die peacefully, I have impacted literally millions of people's lives. Like I think the biggest mentor of all time of our lifetime, number one, is Tony Robbins. And one of the things that he's done, he's fed 50 million people. This was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I saw him at UPW in Miami. At that time, he was doing 50 million. I'm assuming now it's probably 500 million people he's fed. To say that you fed 500 million people, I just remember being on stage. I'm like, dude, this is the closest thing that we have to Jesus, to Muhammad, to a prophet that we have to be able to make this kind of impact. It's incredible, right? So for me, it's first of all taking care of the people around you, right? The people that brought you here, where I am today, right? My family, my close friends, and then my team members, right? And then once they're taken care of, once I know that they're set, then how do we make an impact in these third world countries, right? It's people like you and me that come into these countries that take so much, but we also have a responsibility to give back by hiring the right people, by being respectful to this country, by bringing the right people back here, right? If we bring fucking bozos and people that are complete degenerates, but like, look, at the end of the day, I'm a little bit degenerate. You're probably a little bit degenerate, but like, there's levels where you're like, if that's all you do, you're just a degenerate, then like, that's also not good. So if you just bring people that just come to party here, take advantage of the girls, all that stuff, it's like, man, I'm creating a negative impact on this country. Right. And guess what happens? Then this person is going to do the same. He'll go to Thailand, he'll go to wherever and that's in order to make this country stronger. It starts with the people. It doesn't start with the government. It doesn't start with it starts with regular people like you and me, the small businesses, the big thinkers that can come in and make an impact. So I'd love to change Colombia, start with Colombia, and then kind of go to Venezuela, go to Bolivia, go to other places here in South America and make an impact that, again, I want my name to be remembered forever. I know it sounds selfish and egotistical. And Alex Ramosi always says, he even says, I'm going to be forgotten in about 50 years. Yeah, I'm like, dude, if you're going to be forgotten, Jesus Christ, I'm going to be forgotten tomorrow, So I think that some of the impact that he's making now, like, giving everything away for free. Right. I love that.
That's amazing.
So for me, it's like, he's making such an impact. And yeah, dude, you died twice. Like, you don't know your great grandpa. I went to my grandparents' casket in Israel, and my dad told me, because I was kind of like, they're my grandparents, but I didn't really know them that well, and we had family problems, whatever. So I didn't really want to go. Right. My dad said, "You're the last person in our family to go to this, because your kids are not going to go here." And I was like, yeah. And then it made me realize that my kids are probably not even going to know their names. Like, then if they might know their names. Okay, my kids are definitely not going to know their names. Right. So it's like, damn, right? But like, imagine coming from a family where when I hear the term, there's rich, there's wealth, and then there's generational wealth. Right. Right? Rich is like you're a millionaire, wealthier in 8 figures. Generational wealth, you're like in the high 8 figures to 9 figures. That's generational wealth. And generational wealth can keep you going for hundreds of years. I mean, like a long time. So obviously that is the ultimate goal. But I just want my aim to be remembered, and I want to be able to make an impact where people are like, yeah, that guy was like a good freaking soul. And there's a quote by Mac Miller from one of his songs, and it goes, tell everyone that all my life I've been a real one. And I think that, like, out of everything I said, like, I've been a real motherfucker.
Yes, I love that, man. I love that. No, man, and that's something that'll get you right up in the morning, man. That's something that'll get you when you're tired, when you don't feel like going anymore, man, when you don't want to talk, when you want to rest. You remember your purpose, man. That's a true purpose that you just shared, man. So I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah. What are your final thoughts here, right? For people watching that either want to come to Colombia, that are looking to recruit talent, that are looking to train people, that are looking to network, that are looking to be on social media, right? What are some of the last thoughts here that you can give the people watching where they can get value? Yeah. And take action.
I think we talked about a lot, covered a lot of topics, but I think at the end of the day, the biggest thing that I can leave off with is that at the end of the day, the last question that you asked me, I think that's what people need to ask themselves. Like, right. Who are you actually? Why do you want to be remembered? What do you want to be remembered for? Right? It doesn't matter what you're doing for a living right now, but where do you want to be in 3 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years? What does the future look like for you? And actually draw it out. And I think the most important thing in our lives is who we surround ourselves by, from our team to the people, how we treat our family. And I think that right there is what makes or breaks people. And I think ultimately, life is short, man. I literally, dude, it's November.
Right.
I vividly remember New Year's last year. Like I vividly remember 2022. 3, 2, 1, 2023. I vividly remember that. So time is flying by. It's because we're having fun. We're making impact. We're growing, and it's not gonna stop. Like time is moving as fast as it needs to be. And then I think that people that don't take advantage of time now, they're gonna regret it. I think if you're around the wrong people, you're not doing the way you're supposed to do, you're gonna get exposed at the end. Every person gets exposed at the end. And I think it starts again. Surround yourself with the right people. Right, treat everybody with respect. Doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter where they come from, how much money they make. That doesn't matter. I literally yesterday got asked. I asked this guy to go to dinner with we did like a little entrepreneur dinner, and he asked me, "Hey man, how much money do you make?" Literally asked me that. I'm like, dude, are you out of your mind? Yeah. Why would you ask that anybody that ever? Like that's like it made me cringe. So like treat people with respect, dude. Be a real one, and always ask yourself where I am today. Why am I where I am today? And look back at your actions. And most importantly, where do you want to be a year from now? So November 2nd, 2024, where are we at? Where am I sitting? Who am I with? Where am I at financially? Where am I at mentally, physically, healthy? Because 1 year, we talked about it earlier with my roommates, 1 year can change your whole life.
Absolutely.
That's it. It's all 1 year.
100%.
Like that's all it is. You just need one incredible year in business, or physically you're in gym, you're working out, or you with your girl, you're like, holy shit, this is the best year. I'm ready to marry this girl. 1 year is all it takes for you to change your life, and you're where you are today because of everything that you did in the past. You can't change that. That's done. Where do you want to be a year from now? That's what I think about. Like, ooh, November, and that's why I love content, because I get to see where I was. I get to see what I talked about. And okay, what am I going to talk about in the future? So, yeah.
I love that, man. I mean, so many people are going to get value from many different perspectives, right? Business, travel, people, culture, man. It's been a freaking amazing pleasure here. Where can people connect with you? Where can they find you, right? Drop all your things. We'll leave all the comments down below where they can work with you and all that. But go ahead and share that so people can definitely connect with you.
My name is unique, thank God. So if you look me up on Instagram, Facebook, or even Twitter, Omer Bloch. I'm pretty active on Instagram, Facebook, and now the goal, we actually talked about it with my partner, is like, we're going to go on YouTube, bro. YouTube is blowing up. Everybody's blowing up on YouTube. So we're going to go hard on YouTube, which is why, I appreciate you coming here and, let me be a part of this so we can cut this into clips and post this and just really share who I am as a person, so people get to know more about me, but like more about what we want to do. Right. This is not just about me. It's like the mission, the vision, what we do, and what we're going to do. So yeah, YouTube, Omer Bloch, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I appreciate having me on, man.
Thank you so much, man. Guys, make sure to check them out. Follow them. You can definitely change your business, change your perspective. And everybody, at the end of the day, needs talent. That's what every business needs forever, today, and even 100 years from now.